Hello friends, Koolio here, and welcome back to the channel. Today guys, we're jumping back into World Flipper because if you guys saw my last video, I flipping love World Flipper, alright? That's not a pun or anything, I really do. I played this game so much when it first released in Japan, and now that it's officially English, I kind of skipped over it. Anyways, it's crazy. I love this game. I've been playing it nonstop since I posted that first video, 48 hours. Anyways, for this video, what I want to do is actually talk to you guys a little bit of a beginner's guide on team building. Okay, so if you guys enjoyed this video, want to see more videos on World Flipper, guides and stuff like that, then let me know down below in the comments, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here as well. So, let's actually jump in and talk about a couple of teams that I have currently set up that I think are just a lot of fun. So, this has become kind of my main team right here, and we're going to get into this one super in depth in just a second, but some of these other teams that I have kind of working on is this one is a multi-ball team, which is the current one that I'm building up. It's a really fun build and can basically give you endless fever mode, but I still need to kind of tweak a few things here and there on that one. And then the other one I have is this one right here, which is a power flip damage build, which is just so stupid fun. It does an insane amount of damage for power flip, and the longer the battle goes on, the more and more damage it ends up doing. It's such a good build, and maybe I'll jump in and do a video where I kind of break this down, but specifically what I want to talk about is in games like this, sure, I have a full dark elemental team right here, but I'm not building this team solely because they're all dark elements. I'm building this team because all of their abilities coincide and work together for the overall strategy that I want to do. And that overall strategy is to basically murder my own teammates, or murder my own team, resurrect them, and deal a significant amount of skill damage. Because in this game, there are multiple ways that you can deal damage. There's skill damage, power flip damage, there's fever mode, there's pierce damage, there's damage over time, multi-balls. There's a lot of different ways that you can build your teams. But specifically, we're going to go through and break down this team because I've been seeing a lot of success with it. Even though I don't even have all of my characters maxed out, I've been seeing this team deal a significant amount of damage more than other people that have higher level characters than I do, even with a full dark elemental team. So let's go ahead. We're going to talk about the first abilities on my main character. Now everything focuses around either increasing the overall skill gauge, so I can activate my skill ability as often as I possibly can, or to try to keep my character's health below 50%, and then if they end up dying, to resurrect them as fast as possible and give them a boost to their skill damage. So everything basically revolves around Belcidia, okay? So she gets a plus 30% to attack for this unit. That's okay. But this one, while HP for party member is below 50%, plus 30% to the attack for that unit. That's pretty decent, right? That's pretty good, but that's not what we're focusing on. What we're mainly focusing on is this ability. When this unit is a main unit, while HP is below 50%, plus 250% to skill damage for this specific unit. So I want to keep her health as low as I possibly can, and then even when she dies and gets resurrected, I want to try to keep that health below 50%. So everything's kind of focused around there. Now, I'm not going to talk about this one, but I am going to talk about the next ability on my secondary character. When a battle starts, plus 70% to the skill gauge for this unit and deal damage totaling 10% of max HP. I'm mainly just concerned about the 70% to skill gauge. Basically, the faster I can activate her ability, the more damage I'm going to end up doing overall. Now, I have thought about maybe swapping this out because she may activate her ability almost too quickly. Because again, I want her, if I can, I'd want her to die and then resurrect to get a boost to her overall damage, which we'll get into in just a second. Another thing I have on here too is when this unit is a main unit, when a battle starts, plus 20% to the skill gauge for this unit. That's just another way to basically activate her ability as fast as I possibly can. If I'm good enough, if I actually turn off autoplay and just let my character hit the trap down below and have them die as fast as I possibly can before the skill's activated, there is a chance to be able to deal a decent amount of damage overall. But that's a very, very risky move. This is a very heavy risk versus reward build, and I really like it. And then the inactive ability, we're not going to focus too much on it, but basically when this unit is a main unit, a player resurrects a party member from a coffin, plus 50% to skill damage for this unit specifically. So that's not going to help Belcidia overall if I were to put this character as a main unit on my second or third slot, so I don't have that there. Going over to my secondary characters, we have -2 to coffin count for dark units, and then plus 13.5% to skill damage. Again, increase the skill damage, and then when my character is dying and come back to life, there is a -2 to the coffin count, making it very, very easy to actually resurrect my characters. And then the other really important part of this build is when this unit is a main unit, a player resurrects a dark unit from a coffin, plus 45% to skill damage for that unit up to a maximum of 135%. So if my character dies, basically let's say 1, 2, 3 times, and I resurrect them all 3 times, they're going to be doing an additional 135% damage. I've been able to deal almost 2 million damage in one hit for my skill. It's been pretty crazy. And then let's see, while HP for this unit is below 50%, plus 20% to the attack for that unit. Again, I'm not really focused on overall attack, I'm focused on skill damage. So the rest of these things aren't super important. But this one, HP for dark units goes below 20% the first time, heal 5% of HP for that unit. I specifically put that in there to try to keep some characters alive a little bit longer, because since this is such a risk versus reward build, you have to be really careful, because if all of your units die, you're gonna have to spend either premium currency to resurrect them. So it's a weird balance of like wanting Belcidia, my main character, to die as often as possible, but keep my other 2 units alive. So, and then inactive, we're not gonna talk about that one. But a key part to this build is my final character. Basically, it all comes down to her, this ability right here, her third ability. When this unit is a main unit, when a battle starts, deal damage totaling 50% of max HP to all other dark units. Basically, instantly hitting my main character for 50% of her life, which drops her below the minimum required to basically activate her plus 250% to her skill damage. It's wild, it's ridiculous, and I absolutely love it. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna jump into a boss battle, and I'll show you guys how this kind of plays out, because it's been really interesting to see how much damage this character can do. Now, I don't think my team is set up to really go up against godly mode just yet. I'll probably push them all as high level as I possibly can before I start doing that. But it's been really interesting to see, like, my characters are nowhere near maxed out, but I've been able to deal more damage than other players that have like maxed out characters. And it really all comes down to synchronizing your overall team and building them in the correct way. So this game has a lot of different types of ways that you can build your team, and that's one of the things I love just so much about this game. So let's see, this character's got dark base. They're not going to be doing a lot of damage anyway. I'm kind of hoping that we get somebody that has like level 100s across the board. Rank 67 degrees. If you're watching this video, thanks for joining me. And then we have a rank 94. Okay, this is good. So we've got a couple of level 100s on their team. Their team is built very interesting. Not really. Okay, here we go. So they're actually all around level 100. So we'll see how this actually works out. My build of nowhere near level 100s versus their build, which is almost completely maxed out. So I'm kind of excited to see how this works, and I'll kind of go through the breakdown of how everything kind of works for my team. And I think I'll probably keep everything on auto, because I'm assuming my teammates are keeping their stuff on auto, and I don't want that kind of advantage, because like I said, if I were to take over completely, I could just let my character take the damage down below and die as fast as I possibly can. So right off the bat, I just dealt 731,000 damage within the first little bit. That's significant. My character's actually almost dead, so I kind of want her to die as soon as possible, which is probably gonna be right here, and then resurrect almost immediately, and then get down below the 50% threshold. So she already has an increase of 45% to her already 250% increased damage for her skill ability. And so the next thing we just have to worry about is trying to activate her skill as fast as we possibly can. And so I'm excited to see how much damage we can push, because I've been able to get to roughly almost 2 million skill damage using this build so far. It's been absolutely insane. So again, this is a very risk versus reward build. You have to be careful that your teammates, or that your overall team, doesn't end up dying. Like, I don't care if my first 2 units die, it's the third one I want to try to keep alive. Let's see, how much damage right there? 2.2, almost 2.4. That's insane, 2.4 million. I think that was, there was obviously like a little bit of an increase from the skill combo that we just did, but yeah, 2.4 million damage in one skill hit like that is absolutely freaking crazy. So let's see where we are at on the leaderboard against the other team. And I did about twice as much damage as somebody that has almost completely 100 leveled characters across the board. So yeah, it really just comes down to the way that you build your team and successfully building it. And the thing is I'm nowhere even like close to being done building this team too. I can push the damage on this team even farther, not only just by like leveling up my team, but there's specific weapons as well that can help you. Now, if I remember right, we'll go to the shop. There's one weapon currently right now that I'm trying to push towards. It'll take some time for me to actually unlock it. It'll take a lot of grinding to actually unlock this weapon. And that weapon is the Spear of Gluttony. Look at this. When 6 or more dark units are in the party, which is I currently have, while Pierce is active, it's plus 6% to direct hit damage for dark units. Actually, is that the one I want, or is it this? No, it's the Scepter. I'm sorry. It's the Scepter of Sloth is the one that I specifically want. Here we go. When 6 or more dark units are on the party, while HP for all party members is below 50%, plus 60% to the attack for dark units. I could just continually increase the overall attack for my entire party, but there you guys go. A little bit of a breakdown on how to kind of build your units, and there is one kind of little tip I want to leave with you guys, is when you're going through and you're actually taking a look at your units, and you want to know like what kind of abilities they do. We'll take her for an example. If you actually swipe up, look at the icon right here, because the icon will give you an idea of like what kind of an ability. So this is one that actually summons bombs, right? I mean, you can read it, it'll tell you, but keep an eye out for like their specific abilities down here and how they can kind of work together, because you don't need a full team of one single element. As long as you have like teammates and stuff that have specific abilities that mesh really well together, you can make some very interesting builds in this game. So guys, thanks so much for watching. My name's Koolio. If you guys want to see more World Flipper videos, then let me know down below in the comments. I'd also really appreciate it if you guys could leave a thumbs up on this video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Well friends, my name's Koolio, and I'll see you next time.